to set the stage. Patrick asked me if I would participate, and I'm like, oh God. For 5 years I've been able to avoid this. All right, Patrick, I'll help. So I write this talk. I go downstairs, I'm in the kitchen, and I'm reading the talk to Kate, and her mom, Dorothy, comes out to the kitchen. And Dorothy usually just lives on the couch, right? But she comes out to the kitchen, and she's always, when she comes out to the kitchen, she's looking for something. So I say to her, Dorothy, I've written a story, and it's about you. And she looks at me, and she gives me this serious, I don't know about you. And I say, and it's about Digby the cat. And then she has this huge smile comes over her face. You wrote about Digby the cat? Her cat? So I said, yes. So I read the story to her, all while Kate's over there like shaking her head. And she bursts out in laughter when I read the story to her. So I'd like you all to imagine that you're a group in a elderly facility, just like we are, and you are quite forgetful.
It's not too far.
And then maybe this will be funny. So ever since I was a little kid, there's been cats in my life. You know, when I was growing up, my family had cats. And it's just been a succession of cats. And there's been a couple of dogs, but there's been a lot more cats than dogs. And then I had a partner, Susan, and she brought into our relationship her cat, Bart the cat. And Bart the cat and I got along great. In fact, Susan and I created a greeting card line based around Bart the cat, Bart the cosmic cat. Sold to 1,000 stores all over the country. So, and when Susan left, it was obvious whose cat it was now. She left the cat with me. So I've always, you know, on my bank security question, what's your favorite pet? Cat. So 12 years ago, Kate and I get together, and Kate's got a cat. Within a year, boom, cat's dead. So 5 years ago, Kate and I, instead of visiting Dorothy, we started living. We moved in with Dorothy when it became apparent that Dorothy needed our help. And lo and behold, Dorothy has 2 cats. Now, one was named Taffy, and he'd been there for years, and then the other was a newcomer who had been a kitten that just showed up at the back door. Dorothy let the kitten in and named her Digby, or named him Digby. To me, I called the boys and girls, it doesn't matter anything. Kate's always correcting me. No, that's a male cat. Doesn't matter. So, now, Taffy was the established cat, and he lived on Dorothy's lap. Right now, this new little kitten is in, and he's fighting for attention, trying to win a place on her lap. Well, you know, after a few years, Taffy gets sick, boom, dead, gone. And now Digby is the undisputed king of the house, and he's really smug about it. And I love cats, but Digby is kind of troublesome for me, which is very unusual. Every morning that cat starts crying at 6 a.m. Now if he's outside, he has this mournful wah, wah, and just goes and goes and goes. And our neighbor, every time I hear the cat outside, I'm like, oh God, what is the neighbor thinking? You know, because to me, a crying cat is worse than a barking dog. So, yeah, something's got to be done when the cat starts crying, you know, and I've tried, you know, if he's in the house, he scratches at the door, tears up the carpet near the door if we ignore him, you know, so I've tried squirting him with a squirt gun, I've tried putting him in the laundry room, but usually, you know, the cat starts crying and Kate gets up, feeds the cat. Then once the cat is fed, then the cat wants a lap, and he's not happy until he's on a lap. Now Dorothy isn't awake yet. He doesn't scratch on Dorothy's door because he knows that without her hearing aids, You could have a fire truck outside with the siren going full blast and she'd never hear it. And the cat knows. He knows to scratch at our door. So, we went on a vacation a few weeks ago, and we went to this organic farm that friends of ours have, and lo and behold, they've got cats and dogs and llamas and chickens and goats. And you know, we arrived on the day that they were making beer, and the next day they were making wine, and I'm sitting around the farmhouse, and I was like, this is pretty cool, I like this, you know, and I'm looking at the goats out there, and I'm thinking about the berry patch that Dorothy has, this berry patch, blackberries. It's like an acre of blackberries, 5, 6, 7 feet tall. And I've tried with a lopper, and I've tried with a weed eater, a real high power weed eater, and with a machete, and I clear a little bit of it, and then lo and behold, it's bigger than it was. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, goats. Maybe I should adopt some of these behaviors of my friend David and his farm, right? So I got this idea that I'm going to tell Dorothy that the cat is gone and the goat is here, and get a little pygmy goat. But then I talked to Ron Kozlowski the other day, and he goes, John, it won't work, you know. Coyote's got a couple of my sheep just this summer. So I guess I'm going to have to just give up on the idea of the pet goat, because I was picturing, you know, here's this goat, we just put him on her lap and say, you got a pet goat, little pygmy goat, and we'd then move the goat back and forth between her lap and the berry bushes. So I think I may have to just, you know, get over the idea of getting a pet goat and replacing the cat, and now you know, I'll just have to, you know, get along with the idea of making beer and wine, and deal with the berry bushes and deal with the smug cat. Thanks.